What's up, everybody? This is Breland again, and as I said, I'm going to be interviewing country music's finest here at Stagecoach, and Ingrid Andress really fits the bill. What's going on?
Oh, stop it. Thank you. Thank
How
you.
you feeling?
Good.
This is your first time performing at Stagecoach, yeah?
It is.
But
yes.
you've had a lot of experience over the past couple years. From the talk to me about some of the performances. What's your favorite one? You were on tour with Dan and Shay.
Yes.
How was that?
This is true. It was awesome. Their fans are great. That was probably the most fun, was just getting to meet their fans, and they're so lovely, and just jumping around stage is kind of my thing. So
Who do you think is who do you think brings more energy to the stage between them and you?
Ooh,
There's
that's
two of them, so
that's
it's a tough one.
Right, yeah. They're like super smiley and like peppy, and I'm like very sarcastic and dry. So we're very different types of energy. But I feel like Dan outdoes me for sure.
Yeah.
He like is so enthusiastic and is just like, you guys are amazing. And I'm like, you guys are cool.
Okay, so tell me this, dude. We've got people's phones going on.
Oh, popular.
Tell me this. You're getting ready to go out on the road with Keith, yeah?
Yes.
Are you excited about that? Keith's one of my good friends.
Yes, you guys, didn't you just do something with him?
We've done a few little performances.
I was gonna say, yeah, he is like probably one of my favorite country live performers. He just has been doing it for so long, and I feel like I have so much to learn from him.
Yeah, he's incredibly wise.
Yeah, he just makes it seem like it's his first time every time.
What's your Australian accent like?
What's mine?
Yeah, do you have one?
It's non-existent.
I can't do one either, but I'm
always.
always tempted to when I'm talking to Keith. I feel
It just goes straight to British. Like, that's the only accent I
Right,
can
and
do.
it's
It'll
like-
like slowly.
Someone told me today the Australian accents are like British, but like Southern British accents.
Oh, exactly.
You like mix them together.
Yeah, I can't do it.
So you just dropped a new song on Good Friday called
did.
Good People.
Good person.
Good
yes.
person. My fault.
Yes.
But
No,
good,
it's
what-
fine.
You're good people.
Oh, right, exactly. Yes. So many people have called it good people. I'm like, yep,
You're
it's
like,
the
no,
same
it is-
concept.
it is good person.
It's yeah.
What is the inspiration behind that song? What do you want people to take from it?
Yeah, it's sort of just like a introspective kind of journey for me of figuring out what that actually means, because I feel like people are so quick to judge each other nowadays, to where it's like, well, what does it mean to be a good person exactly?
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like? And everybody just has their own definition. So
I think the more people that ask themselves that question, the better the world will be.
I agree.
So thank you for dropping that song. It's a bop.
You're welcome.
What
Thank
really
you.
shook me was that I realized that this is like the first single off of your sophomore project. But I thought you had multiple projects because of how many hits you had on the first one.
Oh my gosh,
So
thank you.
What does that feel like going back in now after a pandemic and working on a sophomore project? Because I'm getting ready to do my first.
Ooh.
And so I know what that feels like. What does it feel like? Is it different than going into the first one? What's your headspace like?
Yeah, it's definitely different, because on the first project I had like all the time in the world and didn't know really anything about the business or whatever. And then now going into the second album, I'm like, okay, well, what can I do that's different this time? You know, while still staying true to myself. But as a musician, you know, we get bored if we write the same things over and over again, or at least I do.
No, I do too.
Yeah. So it's like, how do we, you know, grow and learn and be better, but also like not stray too far away from like what it is I started with, you know?
Yeah. Do you feel like you're someone that goes into a room when you're writing for a project and thinking, okay, this is going to be for this project? And is there like a narrative structure that you're trying to achieve ahead of time? Or do you kind of look through all the songs that you've made over the past year and a half, 2 years, and say, okay, these are the ones that I love?
Yeah, it's usually that, because you and I write all the time.
Right.
So it's just like, okay, what fits the storyline, basically, of like what I'm going for. And a lot of the times I'll know which concepts I want to write about for my project.
Right.
But sometimes there will be random sessions that I go to where I'm like, oh, that's like really dope. I didn't even think of that. And we'll put that on the record. So it's like a combo of it all.
As someone who is as prolific as you are as a songwriter, now straight up, let's talk about it.
Okay, as a songwriter, not
no.
as a human.
Well,
Thank
also
God.
as a person, you know, but as for someone who's as prolific as you are with your pen, and obviously crush it in the studio, but also crush it as a live performing artist, what do you prefer? Being on stage and performing the songs, or being creative in the studio and making them?
Oh, man. I think it comes and goes in seasons. You know, I like it all,
Yeah.
but you know, if I've been performing for a while, I'm like, okay, it's time to get back in the studio.
Right.
Like I'm all drained. But then if I'm in the studio for too long and don't see people, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to go out and like try these songs out. So to me, it's like a season to where I'll have to go back and forth doing both always. Otherwise, I'll lose my mind.
And Ingrid, is it fair to say that on the introvert to extrovert scale, you're more on the introvert side?
Oh, for sure. I'm like, I love people, but I definitely need alone time to like regroup and be creative. But yeah, I would say I'm a bit of both. I don't know. I feel like I get so bored sitting by myself, so I'm like, I have to see people.
Was it
in order to be
ever
inspired.
an arc for you or a hurdle for you to try to overcome as an introvert, but having a very public-facing career?
Yeah, it's definitely a change of pace, but people are what keep us inspired, and fans are why we do what we do. So to me, it's a good balance. And as long as I'm staying authentic to myself, it doesn't drain me being around people because I'm just being me.
I love that. You're incredible. You're the queen of the pantsuit. What can we expect wardrobe-wise for you today at Stagecoach?
We're going denim, baby.
Oh, we're going denim, a little Canadian tuxedo action, maybe a little denim on denim. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, this is Ingrid Andress. If you aren't already familiar, get out from the rock you've been living under and check out her music. She is incredible. And stay tuned for her set later today.
Woo woo.
Again, this is YouTube's exclusive coverage live stream of Stagecoach 2022. Breland, Ingrid Andress, let's go.